of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, welcome everybody. Welcome to the folks that are on Zoom as well to the 1 o'clock, September 8th, general session of the Southampton Town Trustees. I'll ask Secretary Treasurer Ed J. Warner Jr. Call the roll.
Scott Horowitz.
Present.
Ed Warner, present. Chip Marin.
Here.
Joe McLaughlin.
Here.
And Matt Parsons.
Present.
We're all here.
All right, present and accounted for. Okay, just for information to the public, our next meeting will be September 22nd, 2025, 10:30 a.m. will be our work session, and at 1 p.m. will be our general session. We do have some public hearings. We have the first one, public hearing for Pratik Dalal, tax map 900, 346-1-11. I would make a motion to,
Open it.
are we opening this public hearing today? Open the public hearing?
I'll second that.
Seconded by trustee Parsons. All in favor?
Aye.
Good afternoon, Board.
Put on the record.
Since the last time we were here, we've been discussing this revetment at client's property at 20 Ludlow, and DEC had comments. They don't want the revetment to go the entire length of the property, and I've discussed this with the client, the homeowner, and he's agreed to what the DEC is looking for. Sorry. So he's agreed to do what the DEC is looking for, so we've reduced this to a 40-foot revetment in the area that he's experiencing the most erosion by the road, and the sides are going to be tapered down into the natural area, and then we're going to add in fill and plantings to the rest of the shoreline. So I have a letter from the DEC noting that they have no objection to the project, and they just had asked us for some clarifying details. So that's where we are with the DEC now.
So you are going to be amending your paperwork with us to synchronize?
Our paperwork is going to stay the same. There's really just some clarifying details. I can give you the updated amended plans, but it's the same plan. It just calls out some additional information that the DEC was looking for.
James, is that,
So we just need the plans that show the amendments?
And you need them stamped as well?
yeah, it's all got to match.
Yeah,
Everything
definitely.
has to match.
Okay.
Does it match the description that was noticed?
Yes, what was noticed was the original revetment. So it has changed in between when we did the original.
That's got to go to work session,
Cover
correct?
sheet's going to have to is going to have to conform to what you're submitting as a plan, so.
So resubmit the cover.
Does that change, does it have to be noticed again?
No,
Nope.
no.
For the public?
Yeah, no, for the public, we were holding up, waiting for the DEC to give us their opinion. They've supplied it. The applicant is willing to go with the amendment. He'll amend his paperwork with us, and we can throw it into the regular stream for approval process with work session or resolution.
We've received comments from the public on this application, correct?
Yeah, it's been held open long enough.
Yeah, we've got public comment on this.
So we just need the cover sheet and the plans to match?
Yep. And then it goes to work stamp
Yep.
plan review.
I think it should go to work session and then
Yeah,
we'll.
no, it needs to go to work session to make sure the paperwork conforms to what
So
we're
we
gonna
can
be
see the
doing.
latest changes
Yeah,
that the DEC has recommended.
so at this
Not a
point, the
problem.
board's action should be to close the public hearing, and
Right, so first I want to see if there's anybody else on Zoom or in the audience that wants to also speak on this public hearing.
We got someone on Zoom.
Okay, they got their hand up to speak on the public hearing?
Yep, coming on now.
Great.
Hi, all. Can you hear me now?
Yes,
Awesome.
we hear you.
Just wanted to quickly clarify something before kind of going into it. So want to understand just timeline right now and kind of how this works from a procedural perspective. So understanding he has the latest plans, which is the 40-foot revetment, and he's going to submit that to you all so that you have the latest and greatest. So is the game plan there post this meeting to close this to the public, and then you all go understand kind of what's happening, weigh that with public discussion, public reports that have been filed. I think I sent a report to you guys on Thursday last week. and then kind of make a decision on whether or not to accept the 40-foot rock revetment. I'm just trying to understand timeline here first and procedure.
Right, you want to take that, Joe?
Yeah, we closed the public hearing today. He'll submit the revisions. We'll put it back into the pipeline for work session discussion, and then it'll advance to wherever it advances.
Okay, so from an advances to where it goes perspective, that is where you guys will decide between accepting the plans that the DEC brought up versus not, and weighing the back and forth between what the public has expressed their main concerns around the additional erosion that this would cause on the shoreline there. I'm just trying to understand that.
Again, we've closed the public hearing. The public has chimed in. If you wish to submit additional information for the application, it won't be as part of any public hearing record. It will just be an advice to the board, and they will take it into account when they look at it during work session, if the plans conform, and they'll then advance it for resolution, up or down at that point.
Got it. Okay, yeah, I mean, I just wanted to call out some quick things that, I know that I may have said prior and are kind of in the report as well. I just wanted to kind of re-hit them. Like, I understand that the DECs coming in and have significantly reduced the size from 140 to 40 foot from a structure perspective. That still doesn't really kind of counter any of the concerns that the town or at least I have on the beach because of where the location of this is. It's not like he's moving that 40-foot revetment all the way to I forget where exactly it is, farther away from where the public beach would be or the private road beach would be. It's going to still be right on top of that. And again, the precedent that this sets from a funnel perspective of him getting a 40-foot revetment, the house on 17 Ludlow Lane has expressed to me in person at prior community events that they would like a revetment or they wanted a wall as well, a retaining wall. So they're going to look at that. They're going to see, hey, board just approved that. It's going to basically have to approve mine from that perspective. It's going to create a funnel into the beach that we currently have there that all the community members use, enjoy, understanding that it's been eroded for the last couple of years, but for the past prior decade, aerial views have shown that it has been pretty consistent from an erosion perspective. And on top of that, there just has been so much construction from honestly where the erosion has accelerated from around the 2017 standpoint to around now. I would just like to see kind of a resetting of the beach to understand, if that erosion is going to accelerate or continue, or if it will kind of level off back to what it had been done in the decades prior.
Well, is your association proposing some type of a beach nourishment project? Your private association, are you proposing some form of a nourishment project? What is it that you would be suggesting these folks do?
I mean, I would love to just backfill the beach with the sand if we can, if that's a nourishment. I remember one of the first conversations that we had was about coming up with different alternatives to try to address this. One of them was, why don't we backfill with sand? And that could help, the erosion problems as well. I don't think that putting an irrevocable, structure such as this, which is never going to be taken out, and you can't you can't reverse something like this.
So is your association going to formally engage in this application? No, I'm asking Mr. Caruso.
Yeah, sorry, what was the question there? If we're going
Is
to
your
formally engage?
association going to formally engage in taking an action as such beach nourishment?
I mean, I'd love to have a formal interaction with it. I mean, we're a small community, association that technically is no, I mean, I see the reactions of the board here. I mean, I would love to sit down with the homeowners and have that conversation with them, but I was told over and over and over again that we can't have the conversation until the DEC provides their board.
No, I'm talking
provides
about
their
a separate
plans.
action. I'm talking about a completely separate action. You're talking about, you would love to see a beach nourishment project, and you're talking about your private community association's area. That's a different issue. That's a different issue. This is an issue where you got an individual trying to protect their property, and we're trying to balance that out with what the concerns are of the public. But then when you're bringing up, why don't you just put all the sand, that may be a separate type of a beach nourishment issue that your community association may want to see if you want to do some form of an assessment or, I don't know, that's a different thing. Other associations, they come before us with different types of projects that, sometimes can work out. But just because you have one person or a couple of people trying to protect their property, that doesn't preclude your association for also wanting to, approach if you guys or gals are gonna do something, right?
Yeah, I
So-
mean, I totally hear you and understand that. I'm obviously a lot newer to, the timelines and everything else associated with this. Like I said, like, we had the prior discussions here that was, let's see where the DEC comes back with to understand, and then we could have those conversations. I don't think in any of those prior conversations it was, I'd love for the association to go back and come up with a whole nourishment plan associated with the beach and work with, Petit and the, 20 Ludlow homeowners to do that. If that was the case, you definitely would have started that a lot earlier than right now, understanding that the timeline is we're about to close public hearings.
It's, anything like that at this point would be speculative.
Correct.
We can't hold up the process
No, and it's two different things.
to start a discussion that may take 3 or 4 years for
Years.
it to even come to
That's-
some semblance of reality.
And funding and everything else. So that's two different aspects. If you feel that strongly, then that's what you have to do. You have to organize and approach the board and all the other regulatory authorities relative to what your concerns are, to see if that's a possibility, right? But in the meantime, you have, admittedly and visibly erosion issues on properties and folks that are trying to protect those properties, and you have all the regulatory authorities trying to balance the concerns of the environment and the community, at the same time looking and understanding that you have people that are trying to protect their own private properties. So it's a balance, it's a delicate balance, but your association can still also collaborate.
Why can't, yeah, but I understand that, but why can't, the solution be for, the individuals here to, dump the sand again for this year or next year and understand and see where that goes? Like,
That's not before
this
the
now?
board.
That- yeah,
That's
we-
speculative, that's outside of the
Right,
application.
Right, we work on.
That's outside of the application, yes, I understand that, but that's the next step that I feel like that should be looked at. It shouldn't be, let's put an irreversible revetment at the end of a private block
okay.
with beach access where then
That's,
the
we've
home
gone
right
as
next
far as
door
we
can
can
do
go.
the
We're
same
going in
thing.
circles.
Right,
now.
right. We are going in circles now. Listen, you've made your concerns very clear to the board, and the board could make a decision. But you have to understand, at the same time that's going on, as council is calling speculative, 4 or 5 years go by, and the erosion on this person's private property is getting that much worse, okay? Who's
Or
going to take
extending still like it has
responsibility?
done for the period of 2010 to 20, what is it?
Are you?
We need to close.
Yeah, we're gonna,
Like
listen,
08 to
Mr.
2018
Caruso.
was basically the exact same. There was no
Caruso.
additional erosion. It was until constructions were done at the end of this block and bushes were taken out at the end where the erosion is actually accelerated.
Right.
All I'm asking is to take it maybe, a little bit more time to see what happens from a beach perspective.
We've gone
And then
as
you
far
can
as-
do an irreversible erosion
Right.
at the, revetment at the end of the beach.
Right, Mr. Caruso, you have done an excellent job at expressing what your concerns are to this board. You've done an excellent job, and the board, I feel at this point in time, has enough information to make their decision
Mike.
as we work through this process. And I think I could make a motion to close this public hearing at this
I
point.
understand. I just want one final comment. I understand. Just one final comment on my end. Otherwise, I'm just going to regret it for a long time if I don't get the chance to say it. One is just that you look at the home values associated with the block, which I hope you all will take a look at the documentation I sent through. And I understand that, there are property values with the homeowner here, and, he willingly bought on a beach without a bulkhead, so he has to assume some risk there. Others bought on the property with the beach, there's 20% premiums associated with that if you look at it. And the one final thing, and this is actually the final thing I'm going to say here, is as the town weighs the DEC decision and their decision to say, hey, we're going to reduce this from 140 to 40, I'd love to be able to see if they went down and looked at that, just because I know that there has been a disconnect at the DEC prior. I've had conversations with them with regards to the dock at the end of this block, where I called them and they specifically said they were unaware that this was a private beach with access. And if it was, they never would have allowed that dock. The only reason I bring this up is because I just don't want a similar
Okay, he's-
issue
But
to happen
Mr.
here with
Crusoe,
the
Mr. Crusoe,
revetment and with
you-
the disconnect.
You've said what you've had to say. The underwater lands that you're discussing are not private. They're public, held in trust by the people, for the people, freeholders in commonality of the town of Southampton, by the Board of Trustees. That's public lands held by this board. Okay? You've made your points. You've said what you had to say. I have a motion on the table to close the public hearing.
I'll second that.
Need a second.
Seconded by trustee Parsons. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public hearing's closed. Thank you. Thank you for your participation. Notice of public hearing, number 2 for Oksana Lashko, 12 Bayview Drive East. I would like to make a motion to open it.
I'll second it.
Seconded trustee McLaughlin. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Public hearing is open.
Mr. President, the matter has been on the calendar since May. There was a statement made by the permit expediter for the applicant that they were going to submit information to us by June. It is now September. There's been no communication regarding this application from them. At this point, I would recommend that we close the public hearing and we move this matter on to move it to the board for resolution.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second that.
Seconded by trustee Warner, made by McLaughlin, seconded by Warner. All in favor?
Aye.
Public hearing's closed. Notice of public hearing on amendment of rules and regulations for management products of the town of Southampton. Article 3, freshwater fish. Make a motion to open this public
I'll
hearing.
second that.
Seconded trustee Warner. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, it is open.
Okay. Mr. President, I just received some information from trustee Marin regarding this public hearing and the proposed change. I'm going to incorporate the language that he suggested, and I would ask that we adjourn this. Actually, I would move that we close the hearing. I will redraft this and submit it as a clean slate piece of legislation at the next meeting.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to close it.
Second that.
Seconded trustee Warner. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. All right. Public portion. Is there anybody that needs to address, that's in the audience, needs to address under public portion? How about Zoom? Anyone have their hand up?
No one on Zoom.
Okay, so that being said, let's move to the resolutions. Trustee Resolution 2025-26, that's closed. We're going to table that one, right?
Correct.
Yeah, motion to table 2025-26.
The next meeting?
I'll
Yes.
second it.
Seconded McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
Let's table to the next meeting. Trustee Resolution 2025-235, first modification for Shinnecock Shores Association. I recommend its approval.
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
2025-236, this is our first renewal application of Glasso and 128 Redwood Road in the village of Sag Harbor. Second on that.
Second that.
Seconded trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
2025-237, this is the first renewal application of Western Promises LLC, 11 Amherst Road in the village of Sag Harbor. Can I get a second on that?
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
2025-238, this is an application of Sag Harbor Village, 11 West Water Street, Village of Sag Harbor, tax map number 900-1-2-32. This is a body of water, Sag Harbor. This is I think we discussed this extensively in work session. Second on that?
Second.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
2025-239, this is an application of Sag Harbor Community Rowing Club in Sag Harbor Cove, tax map number 900-345-1-48.1. This is a, is the applicant, this is, it says this is the applicant of the Sag Harbor Community Rowing Club. This was supposed to be the Village of Sag
Village,
Harbor.
yes.
So I would like to table this.
Or do you want to amend it on the floor?
Can we amend it on the floor?
Yes, you can, I believe.
I'll make the motion to amend resolution to reflect the,
And you want to amend it to,
Change the language, who wants?
Change the language of the application,
Specify what the language change.
The Sag Harbor Village.
Read the sentence with the amended change, please, into the record.
The application of Sag Harbor Village
Okay,
in Sag Harbor Cove, tax map number 900-345-1-48, in the body of water, Sag Harbor Cove.
so second on the amendment, do we have?
second his amendment, all in favor?
Okay, so now, the resolution as amended, who makes the first, who makes the second?
I would like to make the,
I'll make the first. I make the, yeah.
Chip will make the motion and Scott can second.
I would second it with the condition that since this is a project for the Village of Sag Harbor, I believe we should waive the fee.
Yeah.
Okay?
All in favor?
All in favor?
aye.
Okay, as amended, it's adopted.
And the fees are waived for the Village of Sag Harbor.
2025-240 is an application of Southampton Town under Wonderland tax map number 900-134-2-13, and this is a body of water in Sam's Creek. This is, I believe, the the replacement of the bridge construction on Job's Lane. Can I get a second on that?
Second, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye. Resolution 2025-241, this is application of Carter Simpson Jr. at 28 Robbins Lane, tax number 900-62-1-11, by Water Fish Cove. Can I have a second?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
I have trustee resolution 2025-242. First renewal application of Susan and Alan Wurzel at 9 Duck Point Road in Remsenburg, Suffolk County Tax Map 900-381-3-58 on Mauritius Bay. Can I get a second on this, please?
Second.
Second, trustee McLaughlin, all in favor?
Aye.
I have trustee resolution 2025-243. Third renewal application of Gabrielle and Nicole Fromer at 2019 Trust, 375 Dune Road, Village of West Hampton Beach, New York, Suffolk County Tax Map number 905-18-2-1.5. Can I get a second on this, please?
Second?
Second, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
I have trustee resolution 2025-244, first modification application of Smith Creek 124 LLC. Wait, is Springville Road? How come this
I
is
don't
in my
know,
area?
what is that doing there?
Yeah, really.
Is that you, Ed?
I don't think this is mine.
I think that should be mine.
You want me to keep going? I'll keep going.
Was that worked on, or is that there as,
I thought we had them come in and they submitted a renewal.
yeah,
and
actually,
then
they were,
And then we worked on it with the consultant.
we did, they just needed to clean some things up.
Yes.
Yes, this is supposed to be on, it's just under the wrong sponsor, that's all,
Yes.
so you could keep going on it.
Okay, Suffolk County Tax Map number 900-293-4-2 on Smiths Creek. Can I get a second on this, please?
Second?
Second, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye. I got trustee resolution 2025-245, application of 19 Fantasy Drive, Flanders, New York, tax map 900-123-2-17.2 on Flanders Bay. Can I get a second for this, please?
Second on that
Second,
one.
trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee resolution 2025-246, application of Kenneth Waits at 830B Dune Road, Village of West Hampton Dunes, tax map 907-2-1-20 on Mauritius Bay. Can I get a second for this, please?
Second?
Second, trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Trustee Resolution 2025-247 authorizes the purchase of clam gauges. We've done this in the past. We continue to do it to give it out to our residential people that come in for permits, so I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Can I recommend an amendment, please? In the first whereas clause, that needs to read, Resolution 2025-9.
Instead of 2022-2.
-2, yeah.
Okay.
What was that again,
I need a
Jess?
motion for an amendment.
Motion to amend, whereas the trustee resolution that currently reads 2022-2 be changed to 2022-9.
I'll make a motion for that.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
No, I just need a motion to adopt.
Motion to adopt.
The change.
I'll second it. All in favor?
Aye.
Thank you.
Thank you. Trustee resolution 2025-248, authorize expenditure for tree pruning services for Noack Road. I recommend its approval. I need a second on that.
Noyak Path, isn't it?
Huh?
North Path. Yes.
Second, trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye. Trustee resolution 2025-249, authorizes the purchase of weather guard saddle truck toolbox. Recommends its approval. I need a second.
I'll second that.
Seconded, trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, trustee, resolution 2025-250 authorizes the president to sign a contract with Corzini Asphalt, Inc. to repair portions of Old Sag Harbor Road, Ruggs Path, Widow Gavitz Road, and Noyak Path, whereas pursuant to Town Board Resolution 24-488 of February 15, 2024, the town of Southampton entered into contract 2024-498A with Corzini Asphalt, Inc. to furnish and install concrete and asphalt for town-owned roadways, whereas pursuant to Town Board Resolution 2024-1438 of December 10, 2024, Town of Southampton extended the aforementioned contract to expire on December 31st, 2025, and whereas New York State law permits the trustees to utilize the services of approved vendors of the Town of Southampton to provide the same services to the trustees under the identical terms of the contract. God bless you. Whereas the trustees are purportedly the owners of various roadways within the Town of Southampton that are used by the public and that are in need of repairs to remedy conditions existing on a number of these roadways to promote public safety. And whereas Corzini Asphalt, Inc. has provided a proposal to furnish and install concrete and asphalt on certain trustee roadways, and whereas the trustees have provided funds within their budgetary tax levy for maintenance and repair to these roads, now therefore be it resolved that the president is authorized to sign a contract with Corzini, Inc. to perform repairs on the following roadways at the price stated in the aforementioned contract. Ruggs Path, approximately 430 feet, $24,650. Inspection of roadway in Old Sag Harbor Road, approximately 145 feet, $15,200. That's the intersection of Broadway and Old Sag Harbor. Old Sag Harbor Road, east to Noyak Path, from approximately House 920 to 855, $37,900. Old Sag Harbor Road, 1.3 miles between Millstone Road and Brick Hill Road, $109,000. Widow Gavitz Road from House 564 to House 566, $41,250. Area around 1088 Old Sag Harbor, $37,500.
In front of.
In front of around 1230, approximately 300 feet, and around 1156 to House 1208, it's about 19,500. So the total is $285,000. And I recommend that we do this, and I saw this in the paper on Sunday, high wealth and bad roads. So it's not just the trustees, it's apparently like countywide, okay? And people are trying to, get better roadways for public safety. We're doing the best that we can, folks. We don't have gigantic budget. We're gonna have to utilize some fund balance and pay this back.
Just
but
add, this is also a long time coming.
It's a long time coming.
If I may, there's another resolved part you may want to read into the record.
Resolved, in the event that there is a shortfall in the fund balance appropriated in the fiscal year 2024 budget for road repairs, the trustees authorize a transfer of funds from fund balance to cover said shortfall under the condition that funds from the approved budget of fiscal year 25 shall be restored to the GL line from which the funds were taken from.
Yes.
And that's what I'm trying to say. Okay?
In essence, what we've done is issued ourselves a tax anticipation note, that if we need to use it, we can draw off of it, and we can replenish it with the new incoming funds.
Folks, public safety is really important, and read the paper. It's a difficult, and basically, we have our tax district, we have enterprise revenue, we have fund balance. We're very mindful of being conservative in how this is managed. but this is about crew safety, worker safety, and public safety. And we're gonna do the best that we can with this and manage it for the benefit of
It's been a
everybody. So-
decades-long challenge for us to maintain these roads. And I hope people understand that on a limited or basically a funding source that we really don't have much of, we're trying to do the best we can. I mean, we've done multiple projects and sent marine maintenance multiple times on these roads to patch them. We're trying to make more of a long-term solution to the road problem.
We are trying, and it's not just the trustees that are struggling. It's like, seems like everybody's struggling, okay? So listen, so that being said, I have a motion on the floor,
I'll
Second
second.
it.
seconded by trustee Marin, all in favor?
All right.
Aye.
Aye, okay. 2025-251, authorize president to sign a contract with XCAV Services, Inc. for the Mill Creek Boat Ramp reconstruction, which is another project that's been a long time coming,
5 years.
right? So I've got a motion on the table,
I'll second that one.
seconded by Secretary Treasurer Warner, all in favor?
All right.
Okay, so we're doing the best we can at maintaining and rebuilding infrastructure for people's enjoyment and public safety.
Yes.
Okay. And we have trustee resolution 2025-252. Notice of public hearing to permit taking of gastropods in uncertified waters, whereas the rules and regulations for management of products of the town waters, the Blue Book, whereas conch, as well as the species commonly known as whelks and moon snails, are not shellfish but are members of the family commonly known as gastropods. And whereas the state of New York does not prohibit the taking of conch, whelks, and moon snails in waters not deemed certified by them for shellfish, due to the fact that these species do not feed by filtrating waters they are inhabiting. Whereas the commercial taking of these species by resident baymen in uncertified waters should not be prohibited by the trustees. Now therefore be it resolved that the Board of Trustees of the Fields of Commonalty of the Town of Southampton directs that a public hearing shall be held on Monday, September 22nd, 2025, at 1 PM in the meeting room right here at Town Hall at 116 Hampton Road for the purpose of enacting this legislation. So,
I'll second this.
If I may?
Yes.
We had previously attempted to make a change to the Blue Book regarding this. There was some confusion on my part in the initial draft. We pulled back the resolution for the public hearing. This is the substitute, and I'm happy that we've corrected it. And I
Yes, yes.
apologize
Yep.
for the confusion.
so motion's on the table.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so public hearing Monday, September 22nd, 2025.
All right, trustee resolution 2025-253, adopt trustees 2026 budget process and schedule. Monday, September 22nd, 2025, the trustees prepare and adopt the trustees' proposed 2026 budget and submit the proposed 2026 budget to the town budget officer. The trustees' proposed 2026 budget is filed with the trustees' secretary and maintained as a public document, which is to be mailed upon request and posted on the website until the day after the public hearing on the trustees' proposed 2026 budget in the third week of October 2025. Monday, October 6, 2025, the notice of hearing details for the trustees' proposed 2026 budget are published and posted at least 5 days in advance of the public hearing on the trustees' proposed 2026 budget by publication, by posting on the website, and by posting in the town council signboard. Friday, October 17th, 2025, public hearing on the trustees' proposed 2026 trustees' budget. Closed public hearing, adopt the trustees' proposed 2026 budget as the trustees' annual 2026 budget on this date, incorporating revisions, if any, or schedule a special board of trustees meeting to adopt the trustees' 2026 annual budget, incorporating revisions, if any. Monday, November 3rd, 2025, trustees' 2026 annual budget must be adopted on or before Tuesday, November 4th, 2025. Before Thursday, November 26th, 2025, the trustees' secretary delivers the 2 certified copies of the final trustees' 2026 annual budget to the town clerk and the town budget officer. The trustees' 2026 Annual budget is affixed to the town budget without changes and presented to the town supervisor, to the county, and the county assesses and collects taxes on the real estate. Taxes are paid to the supervisor, then immediately paid to the trustees treasurer. So I recommend that we approve this. I need a second.
Second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, we have trustee resolution 2025, nicely done, by the way, Secretary Treasurer Warner, appreciate that. We have trustee resolution 2025-254. We're going to recall and amend resolution 2025-160, which was the setting of our meeting dates, because we have to add Friday, October 17, 2025, a meeting from 10:30 a.m. to 12 p.m. As a regular meeting onto our scheduled meeting dates.
I'll second that.
Seconded trustee Warner, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Trustee resolution 2025-255, warrant number 14 of 2025 for the trustees. Warrant number 14, $16,219.12. The register reads as law offices of Con and Con, $621. James M. Dury II, $55.79. Financial Services, $2,147.39. Fisher Signs and Shirts LLC, $480. Joseph R. Lombardo, $3,050. Lopers Equipment, $610.51. James E. Olivo, $2,500. PSCGLI, $102.65. Riverhead Building Supply, $882.76. South Shore Docks, Inc., $4,900. Town of Southampton, $34.60. And WB Mason, Inc., $834.42, for a total of $16,219.12. I recommend its approval. I need a second.
Second that.
Second, trustee Parsons, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Is there any further discussions at the board? I would just like to thank our maintenance crew for yesterday responding to unblock a large tree that fell down on one of the trustee roads. You know, as we stated, public safety is important. I just want to say thank you.
I do have a couple things I want to, first, I'd like to thank the town highway department for stepping up and cleaning off L Road over on the Dune, on the Dune Road and around it, overwash from the hurricane, and created a very, hazardous condition. People couldn't park there, so the highway department, Charlie McCardle and his crew and Mark Breaker all stepped up and did a wonderful job cleaning it up, along with the county on the other roads. So I want to shout out to those guys too. They did a wonderful job on Dune Road after the overwash from the hurricane. And the next thing I'd like to recognize is the county dredge team. They're over at Red Creek Pond, pumping out the sand that has clogged the main navigational channel, and they're almost finished up, and they'll be headed to Fresh Pond next, where they'll be hopefully taking out the sand from that channel. And the last but not least is the highway department at Bay Drive in Hampton Bays. They did a bulkhead replacement and upgrade the drainage and put a nice access steps and walkway down to the water for the people of the community. So again, working with the highway department and the county and everybody, we have a good relationship, and they've prevailed on keeping public access open for everybody. Thank you.
Also, for those who didn't see the Adored Instagram, the pipe is open this week, so just be aware of that.
Pipe is open at Dagawam.
For people who go on the beach to walk, just be aware of that. The pipe is open, has been open, so just to make people aware of that.
And Old Town is not going to be opened right away?
I believe so. Not quite sure.
All right, gentlemen, we good? Moving right along? We've been a very productive board. We've gotten a lot of things done, and there's a lot that's going to be happening now that our season is coming to an end, and now these projects are going to begin. So you're going to see even more for next year.
Get that pen on that agreement for the launching ramp
Well, that's
for Mill
like-
Creek.
I've been warming my arm up.
Also, on the 15th, it starts the Agawam parking lot project.
Yes, Dagawam Park, yeah, that's been a long time coming too.
All
A
right.
lot of these projects are a long time coming. Is there anything further, we need further exec session, or we took care of it all in the beginning? So at that point, I will make a motion to
Second.
adjourn the meeting. It's already been seconded by Secretary Treasurer Warner. All in favor?
Aye.
Have a great afternoon, everybody.
Just, do you know, there was a annual training
So,
this week.
Okay.
The
add on
11th?
that.
You know what's weird is like,
That
when I-
technically isn't fresh water.
Hey, do I got stuff I
Can't have fresh water.